Hello! Now for something completely different. At the world famous Wraysbury, 72 hours with some pals. One of them's just turned up behind me. So let's get stuck in. 72 hours, 1st of October. It's going to be kind, the weather. It's overcast. 22 degrees it's going to be both days. And this is the long drive in. On the left hand side you've got Wraysbury Northlake just through here. We're going to an island, exclusive booking. There's like 5 or 6 swims. There's 4 of us, so we'll have a nice amount of space. Yeah, world famous Wraysbury, I suppose. What more do you need to say? 72 hours. I think I'm doing 3 nights. I think maybe the others are only doing 2 nights. So the last night will be on my own. We did it a year ago, and most of us blanked, unfortunately. But I've learned a lot in the last year or so, so we'll give it a good go and see what we can winkle out. It's a long old drive. There. So if you keep going on, there's a clubhouse down the end and the point, but we're going on to the island. Give you a little tour around the island then next. Right, all set. Whew, God, it's muggy today. It's about 22 degrees, so, but it's overcast and it just feels a bit close. I should have documented a bit more of setting up, but you know what it's like. You get somewhere and you're excited, got to spend plenty of time finding spots. I've had the deeper out, led it around. It's very weedy, as it was last year, not quite as weedy. But yeah, what a place. So I am all set. Everything's up. The house is up. Rods are out. And I'll tell you a bit more about the spots in a minute. Out of the draw, I came second and chose the dredger. And I don't know why. I've been thinking for weeks that I need to be out in open water on the other side. But spare of the moment thing, I always change my mind at the last minute. But yeah, what a place. Planes flying overhead. But I think the barbecue's just being lit. So, and I haven't eaten anything all day, so I'm gonna have a coffee whilst I wait for the barbecue to get nice and hot. But yeah, happy days. 3 days here to try and make something happen. Look at this for waking up in the morning. Step outside. We've got the iconic dredger in the background. We've seen a couple of fish show up round the corner here. I imagine they're probably hanging out in that weed bed there, or that weed bed there. A fair bit of fizzing here and there, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, what a place. What a place.
Said that you've been hurt one too many times before. Ended up staring in the bathroom mirror, crying on your bedroom floor. Baby, you can take my word, you haven't gotta hurt no more. Things are about to get much better. I wanna make this forever. I wanna make this forever. Said that you felt lost 100 times before, going in circles on a one-way street, running till your feet get sore. But I guess you haven't heard.
Oh, right hand rod. What is it? 12 3/4 wraps out to the dredger. First Wraysbury carp. What is it? 25.10, wasn't it? 25.10. Oh, first night joy. Beauty. PB. Oh, mate. Second one on the right hand rod out to the dredger. about an hour after putting it back out, and yeah, resulting in, what is it, 1810. So long may it continue. Second Wraysbury Cup, loving life. Big dog, off you go, back to your spot. It's quite light colour, that one, wasn't it? Should have done this earlier really. I've had 2 fish already off one spot, but yeah, so spots wise, if I can get my finger in the right place, on the corner of the cab of the dredger, where that little window frame is there, that's the line I'm on. And that's the spot that's been catching about 12 3/4 wraps out. There's still a little bit of fizzing going on now, but nothing not like it was this morning before that second take. And then so yeah, I'll talk about the middle one next anyway, but the middle there's a gap where the lake goes through. So I'm before this weed bed. Where's my finger gone? Here. And it's 8 wraps out there. So there and there, both spots, I have managed to find a nice, like, silty area. It's very weedy either side. It's about 10 foot deep. They're both on wafter tiger nuts with toppers. And then there's another one round the corner, which I've bushwhacked. And it is in there. So there's a little silver pole there. In fact, it's a silver pole on the left there. It's just beyond that, about 2 foot off the bridge. So I went around on the bridge and dangled the lead off of the bridge to try and find some hard spots, and there was quite a nice firm spot there. Felt like a bit firmer than even the silt spots I'm on the other 2. But yeah, nothing on that one yet, nothing on the middle rod. Both fish on the dredger rod so far. But yeah, it's pretty calm. It's overcast. It's going to be about 21 degrees today at some point. It feels a bit chilly. There's quite a lot of fish showing behind this weed bed. And yeah, there was plenty of fizzing on this spot. But it seems to have calmed down a bit now. So what I'll do, I think, is reset the rods. Maybe not that dredger rod. I think I'll leave that one. But the other 2, I think I'll reset at sort of midday. And maybe spot a couple over for the afternoon, evening, and night bites. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. Not a bad start in the first 24 hours. Nice bit of rain just coming in. Pressure's due to drop for a few hours this afternoon, this evening. So who knows what difference that's going to make. Just seen 3 or 4 fish show just down the other side of this bridge. Over the other side, I was stood on the bridge. 3 or 4 decent shows. So hopefully there's a group working their way in from that direction underneath the bridge. That'd be nice, because I've got a rig right underneath it. Fingers crossed. So, not a lot's happened during the day. My mate Ant next door has had one, really nice one. Ended up being about £22, I think, in the end. Nice, another nice mirror, big fat belly, bloated, like fully bloated fish. Really nice fish. If he lets me put it on the vlog, then I'll screenshot it up now for you to see. We've had a storm roll in, which was quite interesting. I didn't even know that was forecast. So proper thunder and lightning, actually. So it's become very muggy. It looks like in the next few hours the pressure's dropping right down to 1,005, which is quite a drop. It was about 122 for the rest of the session so far. So could be interesting. I've reset all 3 rods. And there's a bit more of a breeze. It's been kind of pretty still all day, but there's a bit more of a breeze now. And it's kind of coming in this way from the channel into the bay that I'm in. So hopefully that helps a few drift in my way. But not a bad start, even if I went home now with 2 lovely fish that I've caught. Pressure's off, and a year ago I completely blanked here. So successful trip, and I've got plenty of time to go. So we have to be off here. It's now Monday at 3 o'clock-ish. So we've got to be off by Wednesday morning at 9:30, 10. So plenty of time. So a good 4 bite times between now and then. So happy days, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't switch off altogether for the rest of the session. Hopefully I'll winkle one more out. We'll give it a go and see what happens. Third one on the dredger. Rod, £20 on the button. Very short, very unusual, common, with almost a pointy belly. 10:30. Took me straight into the weed, weeded itself up and didn't fight. Just dragged it in with a load of weeds, so that was quite easy. But a very unusual looking carp. It's actually got sort of white mucus on its back. I'll show you the other side. Okay, boy. Got a little tear in his mouth. Oh, come on. That's it. There we go. Unusual common. £20 on the button. Rod straight back out, obviously. Should have taken my head torch off. You probably can't see very much. But yeah, keep them coming. Hopefully there's more coming. Beauty. 22.5, fourth on the dredger rod. Loving life. Spot keeps working. Keep topping up every now and again with a couple of spawns. Hopefully one more night. Hopefully we can get a couple more next couple of bite times. Happy days, mate. Morning update. Last morning, sorry, it's not the last morning, I'm doing tonight and tomorrow. Had a 19.5 pound, sorry, a 20 pound common last night, really gangly looking one, which you would have seen. Didn't really fight very much, got caught in a ball of weed, and I just reeled it in, and that was about 10:30. And then 1:30 in the morning, I had my first one on the left-hand rod underneath the little wooden bridge, and it fought pretty hard actually, and then ended up pinging off after about 5 minutes. It sort of bow waved and shook its head, and off it went. So I lost that one. So it's only the first loss, unfortunately, which is quite good going. And then this morning at 8:30, I have just had another common, which was 22.5 pounds. So yeah, it's pretty consistent, and that again was on the dredger rod. So that spot's definitely working. So I'm keeping it topped up, not going too wild. A couple of spoms every time I catch, and it seems to be working. So hopefully that'll be good for another bite this evening, or overnight tonight, or first thing tomorrow morning. But yeah, time for breakfast. So, we're halfway through the last day. The weather's got really blustery actually. The wind direction's probably changed as well. I wasn't having very much joy, or haven't had a bite so far on the middle rod. So I decided to get the deeper out and do some netting around. And I've managed to find quite a big clear spot I didn't even know was there actually. So that has now become my right hand rod. The dredger rod is kind of middle. So I've now set up a third, moved the middle to the right hand side, found a spot in front of a big old weed bed where the last couple of days there's been some big nice shows with some slightly sizable fish behind the weed bed, where obviously no one really can throw any lines into. It's too far away, it's too dangerous, you get straight stuck in the weed. They obviously hide in that bay, so I'm sure they get in and out of the weed bed. So I'm a couple of rod lengths off of the weed bed. It's about 12-13 foot deep, and I don't think it's a hard sort of gravelly area. I think it's probably mainly silt and a little bit of weed dotted around, but it looked pretty clear on the deeper, and I pulled it through with the lead lovely and smooth, so that would suggest it's probably a bit more silty. So I'll show you the spot now. So, just to explain, I did, obviously the rod's that's been doing all the bites is here, on the corner of the cab, the main cab, and that's 12 3/4 wraps out there, and I've had 4 fish on that, and landed them all, which is brilliant. And then the last 2 days I've had one here, which was also another nice silty spot, in between sort of in line with the entrance to the back bay of the lake. Only 8 wraps out, so it's still a lovely spot. I checked it with a deeper, and it's still, I wasn't going mad. It was quite a nice spot, but it just hasn't done any bites. So the other 2 have done a bite. The left hand rod, 1:30 this morning, is right underneath the bridge, bushwhacked out, Unfortunately, got that in here, and it shook its head and pinged off. So that one's gone, but at least I know it's doing bites or done a bite. So that went straight back out, and that's being left. So the new spot is 10 wraps out here. So there's a big weed bed here, and just because you can't, I mean, that bit of weed on the top isn't just the only part of the weed bed. In front of here, a couple of rod lengths underneath the water, there's plenty of weed. So just in front of it, there's a little there seems to be a gully here, which is a bit deeper, and it's fairly clear and it's silty. So I've gone with that for a new right-hand rod over there, and I've put sort of 4 spoms of bait over the top of that. Again, normal procedure on the bottom with a balanced tiger nut with buoyant corn on top. I've gone with pink because pink's the one that's been doing the bites here. And then this morning, about 3 rod lengths out, I saw a show here, not a huge fish. So I don't normally use boilies, but I've brought some old boilies with me. So I've chucked a couple of handfuls of boilies in here. So when it comes to dusk, or between now and bite time, if I see any commotion or any spines or any fizzing or anything like that, then that's another option that I've hopefully discovered or creating. I popped the deeper over there as well, and there is a very small clear spot. I don't know whether it's gravel or silt or anything yet, but all in here is weed all the way along this bit here, and just behind there is a little spot there. So we'll see what happens with that one as well and keep a close eye on it. I'm hoping that it calms down a bit, the wind. It's quite a nice day today. Apart from that, it's 18 degrees, but it has been more sunny up until just a minute ago. So, but yeah, it's just nice to be here. I'm now the only one left as well. So everyone else has left. They've got other commitments. So I'm doing the last night all on my own on the island. So fingers crossed. If anything, the last couple of days I've been to go by, there should be one more bite, surely, hopefully. So fingers crossed. There's a possibility, only a possibility, I might have just got my first 30. And that was a proper fight. That's 15 minutes, dive bombing, taking loads of line. That is a chunk. Well, this is mental. 6 bites, 5 fish landed. And I can't believe this is 31 pounds, this fish. I've only been fishing a couple of years. I never thought I'd reach the 30 mark yet. It's kind of not about that, but there's a little bit in there that is, because it's just a different kind of fight with this sort of size fish. Had me all over the lake. It was dive bombing. It was trying to get to the bottom, trying to tangle up into all sorts of things, but finally got it in. And what a fish this is. What a fish. Oh, beautiful. 31 pounds on the nose. Lean, mean, fighting machine. Look how beautiful and dark that is as well. What a stunning fish. I've got another night. Rod's back out. You've guessed which rod. It's the same rod. It's been doing the bites. Rod's back out. Hopefully there's more to come. I'm going to struggle to beat this one though. This is mega. Absolutely mega. I've been sat here in silence for like 10 minutes thinking about that fish. It's just blown my absolute mind. It's proper fight. Mental. And it might not be over yet either. So the spot is absolutely rocking. It's probably doing a fish. Well, every fish has been 20 pound and up, and it's doing one every half a day at the moment. So we could have one overnight, could have a couple overnight, could have none. Don't really care now. Celebratory coffee time, I think. Hopefully there's some big girls being blown in here from the main lake. I think it's westerly now, that wind. It's chopping right in. I've actually seen some fizzing down below me where I put a bit of bait. And then my spot is here. This side. So they're not far away. I've actually had another one. It looks half decent, but I've actually just had some news. I've got a bit of a family emergency. So that's number 6 to wrap up the session. And I got to get back, but it looks like a decent size, so it's a shame I couldn't weigh that one. But yeah, overall a fantastic session at Hart Island. So home from what I can only describe as a mega dream session at Hart Island. Had absolutely no idea that was going to happen, obviously, when these things happen. It will be a very, very memorable session. I will never forget that. Especially cracking my first £30 fish. And what a stunning fish that was. Thanks to my mates that joined me as well. Wasn't all about the fish. Decent banter, decent food, lots of food, mainly meat, continuous amounts of meat, fry-ups for breakfast, barbecues for lunch and barbecues for dinner. So we had a good old feed up. The weather was generally kind to us all. Little bit choppy on the, I'm trying to think what night it was. Monday night. But it's proper carpy conditions, nice and mild to begin with a thunderstorm thrown in. It was just like the perfect tonic. Lovely and restful. What a venue, can highly recommend it to anyone. And yeah, if I get my ticket in the next upcoming season in April, there'll be lots more footage from not Hart Island, but the rest of South Lake, which is absolutely beautiful. North Lake, the Horton Complex, Horton Church, Kingsmead 1. You know, I'll have to sort of suss it out and find out where I'm going to spend my next, I don't know, however many years it would take, really. It's just endless amount of fishing. I'm still going to be a member on VW as well. Very greedy, I know, but it's such a beautiful place. I could just never let that ticket go, I don't think. God knows if I'm going to have the time to fish it all, but it's worth having these things, I think, at your disposal. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it all. On to the next adventure, I suppose.